You might think you have all the time in the world. You might believe that tomorrow will somehow make up for what you choose not to tackle today. But listen closely. This isn't just some casual advice you can brush off. This is a wake-up call. The life you're crafting right now stands as a testament to the decisions you're avoiding. Each excuse you make is like another brick laid down at an awkward angle. If you keep living your days like someone dodging a bill, one day you'll wake up to find that the debt has consumed your entire existence. So wake up. Time isn't a gentle stream that flows endlessly. It's a sharp blade that cuts with cold, unyielding accuracy. Marcus Aurelius echoes through the ages, reminding us that you have control over your mind, not the events around you. Understand this, and you'll discover true strength. That inner power is the only currency that truly counts. Everything else, money, comfort, relationships, status, are just embellishments. Without intentionally using your time, those embellishments will turn into a museum of regrets. Here's the first hard truth. Your attention is the only battlefield that matters. You might feel busy, but being busy is just a disguise. Scrolling, liking, postponing. These aren't signs of living. They're merely dress rehearsals for a life you're not fully embracing. The first harsh reality is straightforward, and life can be pretty ruthless. Until you learn to manage your attention, nothing truly meaningful can flourish. Seneca once said that we often suffer more in our minds than in reality. Yet, you let those imagined fears steal away precious hours that could be spent creating something real. Every moment you give in to distraction is a moment you'll never reclaim. Picture your future self at 60, asking, "What did you do with my time?" If your answer is filled with excuses, don't be surprised if he's not pleased. Here's another truth. Discomfort is where your character is forged. We've all been conditioned to shy away from friction. Society markets comfort as if it's a remedy, but too much comfort leads to a slow decline. The Stoics knew that pain is a tough but valuable teacher. Epictetus hit the nail on the head when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that counts." If you respond with fear, you'll end up feeling empty. But if you muster even a little courage, you start to carve out a meaningful life. The real work, the kind that builds skills, earns respect, and strengthens your core, lies just beyond discomfort. Embrace it. Learn to appreciate the struggle that comes with progress. If you keep focusing on the surface while ignoring the foundation, your achievements will crumble at the first sign of trouble. And here's the final truth. Intentions are meaningless without action. Saying, "I'll start on Monday," is just a way of expressing hope for a future you can't control. True individuals ground themselves with simple rituals that might even seem a bit silly. A morning dedicated solely to your work. An evening reserved for reflection. A firm commitment to start your day without comparing yourself to others' curated lives. Marcus Aurelius didn't just talk about it. He lived it. Wait for inspiration? Not quite. He developed habits that made him unshakable. You can mimic those small daily actions until they transform into a force that's stronger than any mood or temptation. Don't romanticize spontaneity. It's just a refuge for the lazy. Here's truth number 4. Relationships either propel you forward or drag you into shallow waters. A lot of your social life is like a slow leak. Friends who cheer on your excuses aren't really friends. They're accomplices in your decline. Love that demands you to be less than your true self is nothing short of theft. The Stoics believed your circle should be lean, fierce, and honest. Let go of those who gauge your worth by how comfortable they feel. Hold on to the ones who tell you the truth, even when it stings, because that's the only tool that can cut away the rot. If you cling to flattering lies, you'll find yourself stuck. But if you choose sharp company, you'll keep moving. Now, onto truth number 5. External success won't fill an internal void. You can stack up accolades and still feel empty inside. Many chase titles, followers, and applause, only to bury themselves in the belief that these things will solve their problems. Spoiler alert, they won't. A life built to impress others is like a house on shaky ground. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the world's applause is like grass that withers. Instead, Focus on building what can't be taken away, your character and unshakable habits. No amount of wealth, follower count, or romantic partner can fill the gap left by an undisciplined mind. Fix what's inside first, and the outside will follow in ways you can't even imagine. And here's truth number 6. Action is the only antidote to fear. You wait until you feel ready, until the perfect conditions arrive, but they never will. Courage isn't about being free of fear. It's about moving forward despite it. Seneca offered this tough love. Bold decisions don't get safer with time, they just shrink. The horizon you're waiting for only appears if you're willing to cross the sea. Commit, break things, learn from the wreckage. Comfort will tell you to rehearse forever, but life demands a leap. This isn't just motivation, it's excavation. The habits that truly save you can seem pretty dull and relentless. Waking up before everyone else, putting in the work while others are just scrolling through their feeds, learning while others are busy gossiping, and saying no before you say yes. These actions might seem small on their own, but together, they create a life that stands out from the crowd. If you're after a significant change, make sure to protect your quiet moments. Dedicate those early hours to work, reading, or just being still. If you can't manage that, you're not really building anything. You're just daydreaming. Responsibility isn't a burden handed to you by fate. It's your gateway to power. The instant you stop blaming others and start taking ownership, you regain control. You can't change the weather, but you can choose how to build your shelter. When you say, "This happened to me," you're giving up your life. But when you say, "I chose how to respond," you start to take charge. There will be nights when your pride shifts to shame and then to anger. Don't shy away from it. Pain is like a mirror. Examine it until you see the patterns. Those patterns are your roadmap. You don't need more motivation, you need more honesty. Stop the leaks, distractions, idle chatter, the pursuit of perfection, and waiting around. Replace them with 2 key practices. Create something every day that challenges you, and spend time in solitude each week. Make it a point to craft something daily that costs you something, and once a week, sit with yourself in silence. These 2 habits can transform rough coal into diamonds. Much of your pain can be recycled. A Stoic doesn't avoid it, he rehearses it. Get comfortable with rejection until it doesn't sting as much. Embrace failure on purpose until it feels normal. This is how you build strength and character. Time is unforgiving. What you don't use will turn into regret. Break your future down into manageable tasks, and tackle the mundane until it becomes a form of art. Repetition shapes your destiny. Losing people and comfort along the way is perfectly okay. If something can't withstand your growth, it was just a cage. The tough part is staying consistent and facing the dislike that comes with speaking your truth. Don't just respond, take action. Commit to doing one promised task for 30 minutes and keep at it. Empires are. It's time to take action. Let go of those easy comforts and make the tough choices every day. Remember, repetition is your sharpest tool.